Welcome, everyone, to Blood and Iron, Dead Man's Hand. Last we left off, the coterie, being Shriek, Alexandra, and Anna, at the time, went to Elysium. Had a few conversations, a few announcements were made, an execution took place, and a deal was struck. A deal in which a member of the coterie, Anna, had been sort of bartered for the ability to keep Dead Man's Hand's position where they currently stand, more or less, with the Toreador twins, the setup that they have currently, and among other things, more or less to keep the peace between the new primogen, Dr. Ian Keller, and themselves. No doubt Alex and Shriek have ill notions towards the good doctor. But after a moment of sort of a personal moment between Shriek and Anna where they discussed how to go about this, a blood bond was shared between the two. And now, a new night falls upon the city of Arlington, outskirts of Dallas, suburbs, if you will. And it may be that Shriek has to break some news to Alex tonight. So, after a bit of pleasantries between the two to kind of catch up between what happened the last night and they're standing now, I would like all of you for the cast tonight to make rouse checks. Shriek and Alex are both very hungry, as will Dorian be. And as will Aaron. A little bit of hunger after a night of partying for the previous night. Maybe it's just a little harder to wake up this evening. A little harder to get your body moving. A little harder to get the vitae pumping. That need, that insatiable hunger that every vampire needs and wants grows a little bit more as a result. Alex, Shriek has arrived at your store conveniently. He has been brought back to the back to, afford a more open sort of discussion rather than something a little more vague in front of the staff. Catching up after Elysium. I leave that up to you.
Shriek walks in, but it's not with the typical pomp and circumstance. Usually Shriek's the first one to end up making an entrance, but tonight he's clearly not in the same obnoxious headspace that you would normally find him in. Instead, he's keeping his head low and just kind of finds himself, just flopping himself effectively in the chair.
Well, you looked in an absolutely stellar mood.
Oh. Is it that obvious?
Most obvious I've ever seen.
Our Primogen is currently playing host to Anna for an undisclosed amount of time. And at that point, he kind of bangs his fist on the arm of the chair. There is I'm having a hard time right now, Alex. Can't keep my head on straight. I don't have a play. Maybe that wasn't bad enough. Now I got 2 more unknowns we're gonna have to end up accounting for. And I don't know where the hell their loyalties lie. Camarilla, probably. With Primogen, likely. And I have no doubt that he's about to go through and make sure that every part of this domain's mess will eventually come down to being our fault.
I did tell you that I spoke to Prince Wasi after you left, didn't I?
It's been a long night.
Right. Well, catch you up. Direct from the horse's mouth, he said that there was nothing we could have done any better. All that we lacked was experience. And that in order to best serve the domain, we should continue on as we have.
Why don't that just give me all the warm and fuzzies inside, like getting railroaded by the football team?
Point being, the game is not over yet.
If you got a play, I'd love to hear it.
I think we have an opportunity. While we had Primogen title, we had all eyes on us, right? Being watched like hawks. Barely frickin' move without somebody up our arse.
I haven't
Now-
heard a downside yet.
Sometime better to function outside of everybody's. Let everybody look at Keller. Let everybody see how much he is going to fuck up. While we work in the background, continue to make this domain better.
You know what you're talking about is treason if he gets a whiff of this.
It's you and I. We aren't responsible for Keller's mistake. After
No,
all,
but we
we're
do
just a bunch
serve
of
him
children.
as we currently have our feeding ground, and I would suspect all of our havens currently lurk on his property line. Which means we're kind of his bitches at this point.
Perhaps. But if we don't do... If everything that we do to improve upon the circumstances, I mean, to
Credit goes
improve
to
upon
him.
the circumstances, unless Warsi notices otherwise.
And if we do that loud enough, what do you think the court's gonna say?
Don't have to be loud about it. Just have to make sure that the right will notice.
Dangerous shit you're playing with right here, Alex. Dangerous shit. Warsy's not your cute and cuddly prince who just ends up wanting to end up making peace and love, and if only the Anarchs would accept our way. That's not been his MO. Not from the jump.
There's not a prince alive that's cute and cuddly like that.
Yeah. Toreador like to end up pretending they are at the very least, and that facade ends up meaning that there's something to be leveraged.
You know, I've lived under a Toreador prince, and not always.
No. So dealing with somebody who, well, one of Anna's clan. You know how Anna was really insightful? You think that was unique?
Definitely not. He's going to be playing carefully anyway. Can't afford not to. But he's also distracted. Why did he want Anna so bad?
Insurance. We move against him, and she takes the fall.
Yeah, but he had no guarantee that we were as close knit.
No guarantees, but again, insightful.
Anna always seemed very hesitant.
Sounds like you're coming up with a thought. Don't stop halfway, otherwise I'll be disappointed.
What if there's another reason he wanted Anna?
Oh, I guess this is that lack of experience thing you're talking about, or the prince was talking about, right?
Who knows? I'm just letting my thoughts run as they will.
Well, I guess I should be grateful I ended up running into a warlock that will end up speaking him.
I think at this point you're the only one I would speak to.
Well, then I will endeavor to end up serving your domain to the best of my ability. Fucking joke. Can't believe this, really. I can't. And it's just getting worse at this point. most of our preparations now need to go through our dear Primogen, and we don't have the leverage to make things happen. And it's one thing when you're dealing with kind of an absentee landlord. It's another when you got one with a hatchet to bury.
But we also have friends.
You mean a group of misfits and suspected traitors?
Strangely, yes.
Oh, I can imagine the clout we're gonna earn in Elysium for this one.
Shriek. What else do you want us to do? Just throw our hands up and say, fine, you win, Keller.
I just don't want to end up causing a knee-jerk reaction. It's a good way to
Lose our head.
Well,
Or end up pinned up on a building waiting for the sunrise.
yeah, that one's always a classic.
Trust me, I'm aware of that. I'm just trying to come up with something.
I get that, Alex. I do. I really do. I just don't want this to be a half-cocked thing. I've already seen what happens when recently released neonate suddenly decides that he's the big swinging dick and decides to end up swinging it leftward right into the wood chipper.
You always create the most wonderful mental imagery.
It's a talent.
One of many.
Outside, there are two vehicles that drive up to the shop separately, but each one with a similar purpose, I'm sure. Aaron, you and Dorian both see each other before entering into the shop. So you do have a moment to speak to one another if you would like, this day after Elysium.
Important question, what does Dorian's car look like?
Dorian is driving a royal purple Audi A8.
Audi A8.
Yes.
And then Aaron is driving a clunker Ford F-150.
Ford Ranger.
Ranger.
Gotta be specific.
My bad.
The F-150's little baby brother.
Okay, Ford Ranger. My bad. Still a clunker when you both look at each other's vehicles. It is very stereotypical for Dorian to have an Audi and for Aaron to have a clunker.
I'll step out and adjust my suit, buttoning the front button, and kind of walk up with my hands behind my back and offer a hand, Mr. Winters. It's always a pleasure.
Well, I'll be damned. Mr. Resner! Might if I'm not to be seeing you.
Yes.
The Audi matches the suit! I'm impressed. He shakes your hand.
I do try. It is my favorite color.
It matches you. Keep it coming. Aaron adjusts his hat, and it's like I don't have a cowboy hat. It's a stereotypical cowboy hat. Aaron himself is, he's wearing basically slightly less nice clothes than he did in Elysium. Back in Elysium, he at least had like a vest on. Out here, he's
His cleanest shirt. His
yeah,
cleanest Wranglers.
just a shirt.
His
He's
nice
got
boots.
like some shit kickers and still has the jacket. Very nice black leather jacket that looks more like it would be fit like a Bruja or something. You know, the classic punk jacket for some reason.
Yeah.
But so, I'm to assume you're also here on business.
Definitely here on prospects of it. Don't
Aaron
know
just-
if it's going to work out.
And
But,
just points at the shop.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
been wanting to check this out since Alexandra described it to me. It seemed like an interesting place.
Well, all things considered, introductions have been made at this point.
Yeah, we might as well go in and see where the things lie.
I'll let you do the talking. Whatever talking you need to do. Be my guest, Mr. Resner. Etiquettes and all that.
Wow. Let's go in and make our introductions and get all the niceties out of the way so we can get down to business. And I'll just smile and start walking towards the place with my hands in my pockets.
You both.
And enter in together, I guess. A couple of beards.
You both walk into the shop. The bell dings a couple of times for the entry of a new customer.
Nah, Aaron
Smells like-
sniffs around.
So much different incense.
He picks up, yeah, he picks like one of the box and sees a little smoke stick coming out there, and he's like, Champa.
It's like incense with a slight undertone of pesticides. Like,
Is that lemon I smell?
Among other things. You see that
Dorian would just walk around and kind of peruse.
Okay. You see that there's a girl just kind of sitting at the cash register. Looks like she's the only staffer on shift right now.
Give her a smile, a greeting.
Can I help you?
Oh, I'm just here looking around for the moment.
If you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll start perusing the books and see if there's anything that catches my interest.
She looks between the both of you, noticing that both of you came in together, but are seemingly shopping separately.
Aaron's just been waiting at the door this entire time.
Do I notice this?
Well, she's noticed you, so she's not making it hidden that she has noticed both of you.
I'll just look back to her. I know he's adorable, but we're not together. We just happened to arrive at the same time.
What? No. We're separate. We're separate.
Shop
It's-
all you like. I wasn't making any judgments one way or another.
I'm just going to smile and just keep looking, poking through. Try to find something interesting to read while I'm waiting.
Now, Alex, I assume that you would have some kind of doorbell indicator to that you would hear as a result from the front door, yes? Just in case you're the only person here at night?
yeah, there's probably like a little a sensor on the door that kind of sets off a bing bong in the back room.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
Oh, customers.
You get those that's late? What kind of weirdos do you serve?
Trig. Come on. What are we again? There are plenty of nightlife.
And Shriek, you start to wonder, in the suburbs?
Yeah, that would be a very clear and present one. So, what, they just show up?
Why do you think I keep the door open for 24 hours a day?
In the burg?
Yes, in the burg.
You know what? I'm not even gonna question it. I'm just gonna nod my head and just... Okay.
That and we get the occasional really strange teenager pop in. It's a whole thing. Anyway, I'm gonna see who's... She opens up the door as she says that. Sees the two standing in the shop and immediately closes the door again.
What?
Our two new friends from last night.
And your hair's not even done.
She opens up the door and steps out, shaking her head, rubbing her face like, I'm done with it.
Dorian's probably standing there reading a book on the uses and meanings of candles or something. Something that would catch his eyes. And, kind of close it and put it underneath of his arm and just keep looking.
We will eventually leave with Anna.
You mean
Alex.
Alex?
Or Alex, sorry. Blood bond.
Blood bond. She's on your mind.
Haha, it's like your mind.
Evening, gentlemen. Welcome to the House of Sage.
Howdy, man.
Good evening. I've been wanting to see your shop since you described it the last night. It was everything that you described and more. And he's just going to be looking around, smiling.
So you're not one to waste.
No, definitely not.
Mr. Reznor, wasn't it?
Yes, Miss Alex.
Like Trent Reznor?
Hey, that's what I thought too. Good
I
taste.
could... Yes. There could be worse things to be associated with.
The clerk just says nothing more.
How are you
So-
all doing?
It is a fine evening, Mr. Reznor. And how are the pair of you doing this?
I am doing rather well. I thought to come by and see this place, maybe have a little bit of conversation. Maybe pick up a few things.
I'm mighty fine, ma'am. I'm on a different agenda a bit here. Thought I'd go ahead and drop off my resume. That's an application.
Are we hiring?
I will take the resume and look it over. You're not really the type we would normally... Are you... You're not... She kind of looks him over. Like...
Ah.
Are you interested in
Judgy.
the occult?
He looks over at the clerk and back at you. Well, I have a little bit of experience here and there.
Experience. Right, yes.
Please tell me
Just
you can at least do a basic tarot reading.
Oh no, I ain't nothing like that. Could call it a little bit of a paranormal investigation in my time. Hey, you ever seen Supernatural?
No.
Oh, that was with the brothers who ended up going along with Scooby-Doo, right?
That I've seen.
Close enough.
For
Close
reference, that is an actual canon episode.
I just, I heard over the grapevine that y'all were out of a few hands and maybe had some open positions, so thought I'd drop by.
Certainly take your invitation. That was your name, right?
Sure
Yes,
is,
that's
man.
Not a name that I could. You know what? How about we take this conversation upstairs? I'd certainly like to hear more about your experience.
Am I chopped liver? What's going on, Alex? Why are you really hiring somebody?
Honey, please, you're not chopped liver.
Yes,
I'm
my
just-
dear.
I'd still take a slice.
Yes, my dear, you are adorable, but I'm here maybe as an investor. I think it's just business talk.
Wow.
You're not going to be replaced, my dear.
Well, if you're getting investors, I want to raise.
We'll see.
Knows how to negotiate.
And I'm just going to walk by and put a 50 on the table, and I'll take this and start following Alex upstairs.
Do you want your change? That's
You said you wanted to
$15.
It's a tip, honey. Hey.
Aaron will follow in last of everyone, and as he does so, he does stop at the clerk, with the clerk for a second, and he's like, look at them money bags. God damn. Just laughing to himself. Follows him on up. He's being quiet about it so that only she can hear to the best of his abilities, but...
She's just blinking at you, very confused, bringing up the just the item purchase price. Does the
Alex is
tender
here like,
and keeps
Jesus
the
fucking
change.
Christ. Leads them up the stairs. She's just between her conversation with Shriek and now these two. She's just like, well, tonight is off to an interesting start.
And the
Feast or
clerk
not
goes
bored.
back to the book that she was reading, or scrolling her phone or something with her feet kicked up.
Right. She leads them upstairs and she gestures for them to enter, having now shifted her stuff onto her door handle after the last lovely little thing. Because she did have a ritual on her door handle. Not like it really matters. They're not.
But you open up the door, allow them inside, and with the click of the door, you all are in the apartment above the store.
I would be standing, waiting for Alex to come in.
She lets them all in. She'll be the last one to enter, closing the door firmly behind them. Please take a seat. Make yourselves at home.
Aaron sits down, puts his hat on the table, unstraps his holster, puts that on the table. And from his boot, pulls out a knife, puts that on the table.
Hello, hardware.
Yeah, Dorian would just unbutton his jacket and take it off and lay it across the back of the chair and pull it out and sit down.
You know, as an Australian, I am obligated to say that's not a knife, this is a knife, and pull out a bigger knife, but
Everything's bigger in
I won't do
Australia.
As a Texan, I can politely disagree and say that's not a knife, that's a machete. I guess you can't really tell the difference out there in Australia with all them jungles and whatnot. Big ass spiders.
Just remember,
Ju-
anything over
jungles.
3 inches is illegal.
jungle. You're not very well traveled, are you, Mr.
I've been all across the states. That counts.
Not really.
To be fair, she's not well traveled either. Understand, in her mind, the entire United States is Texas.
Well, she ain't quite wrong.
Tea, gentlemen. And she makes her way into the kitchen and starts her usual ritual of preparing tea whenever she has new people in her apartment.
You were.
What,
Alright.
what humanity do you have to be at to be able to drink tea?
With Blush of Life, you should be fine at 7. 5 is
For
when
an
it
hour.
starts. Yeah, at 5 it starts getting to the point where it's like maybe you're teetering on not able to eat or drink at all.
Okay.
With Blush of Life, you can do so at 7. It's at like
Okay.
8 and 9 and 10 that you're like food and drink is like normal sustenance in a way.
Tea, that is something I definitely miss.
Got a really dark one, but like gunpowder. I think was a type.
Gunpowder?
It's a black
No,
tea
I
I
think-
had in a shop one time, but it's all right.
You know, somehow I feel like adding water to gunpowder would just cause an explosion. Well, depending on how much.
Wet
You know what, never
powder has
mind.
killed more people than you'd care to admit.
What brings you gentlemen here this evening, besides using my shop and confusing the absolute living fuck out of my staff?
I came to talk about the opportunities. I believe the same as Mr. Winters.
Opportunity.
Yes.
Please feel free to elaborate. And as she's talking, she's pulling out cups and setting up a kettle to boil and pulling out a tin of dried leaves and other herbal bits and bobs.
Feel free to go on ahead with it, Mr. Resner. I am fully engrossed in the hospitality of our hostess.
Well, I can't speak for everything for Mr. Winters, but at least I know that I'm new in the area and looking for a place to set up. And I see a lot of opportunity in this domain.
And you sought to come talk to us about this.
After recent events, it seems like you could use an infusion and some new allies. I think that's the same reason that Mr. Winters came tonight as well.
Hmm.
Well,
No doubt you all are very suspicious of us, especially on the short notice, which I do
Oh no,
not.
that's not the whole reason that I'm questioning this. It's more the whole reason of the fact that we are no longer considered primogen. Although I do certainly appreciate the willingness. Come and speak to your elder.
I do not think, I was not after the primogen slot. Looking more for getting in on the ground level. I think that this domain could grow. And being on the ground level of that and most of the influence driving that, I believe great things could be accomplished.
The reason that I bring up that we are no longer primogen is that we can't give a go-ahead for.
Well, the deal has already been struck for the groundwork at least.
Exactly. So seeking our permission on these sorts of things is entirely pointless. However, if you are seeking a business arrangement with me myself, concerning perhaps advertisements towards whatever new establishment you intend on setting up, that is something I'm definitely capable of and willing to consider.
I'm definitely not here to try to get permissions. I'm here looking for allies. People to work with. Shape this area into something better. Build upon it.
Okay. You're looking for connection.
Well, the more hands that are working, the easier it is to accomplish something. I'm sure there are skill sets that all of us have that could be beneficial to each other.
What skill sets might those be, Mr. Resner?
Well, just judging from face values, you have someone that knows the game and knows how to gather information. You have someone that deals in the occult and knowledge of many things. And someone that knows how to deal with problems. And then you have me who knows how to help in the business and expedition of things, along with convincing people.
Convincing. Convincing people is a very useful. So you are looking to establish relations. You are looking to make connection. She pours out the tea, puts it down in front of them, and it's a very sweet, kind of earthy sort of herbal blend. And she takes a seat with her own cup, kind of just holding it, not drinking. What do you think, Shriek?
mixed feelings. Really. Allies are good. Really. I'm all for the sake of cooperation for the betterment of the domain. After all, one hand washes the other, so I get that. I get that. But I also end up knowing that you're both gonna, if you're looking for that, also means you're gonna be jumping in head first into a pool full of misspent eternal youth. And you're also going to end up running into a myriad of issues that are going to end up coming into conflict eventually with our newly found primogen sensibilities. Because, well, not to put too fine a point on it, we already have enough individuals who are, shall we say, questionable position. What we're looking for at this point is ill-defined. Pieces got scattered all over the place, and we're just right now kind of doing, how would a blue book put it? We are currently assessing our inventory of options. While we're grateful to accept ones on the table, well, I'm sure you would understand, Mr. Resner, that when something seems too good to be true,
Well,
so
you
you'll
are
understand
correct.
the suspicion.
As
So
I
what do you
said,
actually want? And what are you willing to give?
what I want is to extend the reach of my businesses into your the domain of our primogen, extending my reach and resources as well. What I'm willing to give is using those resources to accomplish goals that are important to this domain and to this coterie if we end up joining together.
And what about you, Precious?
Darren is just like deeply invested in the warmth of the mug, listening to everyone. Oh, yeah. Ooh, put on the spot. Alright. Right out the gate, I don't think I necessarily got something so industrious as Mr. Moneybanks here. Mr. Resner, all due respect, but I ain't quite like you. We'll just start with the beginnings of it. I'm recently let loose off the leash. My sire is Vincent Roderick. And, well, as per certain ordains by the Seneschal, I'm placed here within Arlington. I have no particular qualms about that. It's just, it was made pretty clear to me as to the why. Probably got something to do with my
Previous
living.
location.
Yeah, living past and all that. Might have something to do with more of the unliving past.
Okay.
Just as a quick query, would I know anything about Roderick?
That would be an intelligence politics.
Even if it's just something basic, like what clan he's from.
Are you happy with a 1?
You know what? It makes sense because she's still figuring out the politics of the area, so.
He's not exactly a big name, per se. But he's not exactly small time either. You say you get the general feeling that maybe he's a younger Ancilla, question mark, but that he is La Sombra. There's a lot of La Sombra in this city, now that you think about it. Quite a number of them indeed.
La Sombra.
Ma'am.
Oh boy. Love that.
Yeah. News travels around a bit. Might have heard a little bit about, what was he, Mr. Tenebris leaving the ranks a bit early.
He had some personal things to deal with.
I take it that's a polite way to put it.
You do remember seeing him a lot at the Elysium with the Scourge. You know who the Scourge is, Aaron, because that's the first person that you more or less were told to stay on the good side of, because given your past, she'd light you up like a torch.
Yeah. But she'd enjoy every second of it. That said, I'm just keeping it honest and easy with y'all. Keep my hat on straight about everything. Mr. Resner was correct. I am here to look for a couple friendly faces myself. And I knows you all, previously, as Dead Man's Hand worked as pre-machine. It isn't to say you have that status upon now. But you have some lay work. I'm to expect. And as I was there, apparently also down a few hands.
I'm going to be particularly honest right now.
Go right ahead.
And this has gotten me into trouble with your clan previously. So, I'm going to frankly say that while I appreciate your forthrightness, I am wary of you. Mr. Winters,
Shouldn't be the only reason.
there was a man in this city not long ago, and he is no longer amongst the living. Shared your last, and I was there when he was down.
You were there.
Yes. Specifically, I was there saving one of our own from him. So you'll have to forgive me because I can see exactly why you have been. domain.
You see Aaron pop a thing out for just a moment. And he pulls it back in. On the count of respect, you'd be right to beware on that front. Uncle Harry wasn't exactly too bright. A bit too damn stubborn when I told him he needed to get out of it. Retire while it was still good.
Is anybody gonna pick that up? No? Nobody?
Be my guest.
It walks over. Grabs hold of what I can only imagine is Alex's business phone. Puts it to his ear. I fucking called it! Puts it down and goes right back to his seat as though nothing happened.
You notice Alex actually cracks a bit of a smile.
So, this is a piece of... Go right ahead. My apologies, ma'am.
I'm just saying, I will never forget his face. You look very alike.
Yeah, that's what folks said. Well, here's a big piece of leverage or what have you on me. Everyone in this room now knows my little secret.
Wasn't much of it. I don't know.
No, but it's worth something. Needs back.
Okay, I'm gonna PM you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need...
There's... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it's just gonna color a play.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Got a pair of twins. You might have met one. Hey, you might have met them at Elysium.
Gave you all a ride, sure did.
Oh, good. One of them doesn't drink blood. Eat people. Hearts, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
Okay. Huh.
He just kind of looks over to Alex. What? It was worth something.
Here I was thinking I
Fair
had it bad.
Oh, don't cry for them. They're already dead.
Time for eulogies past.
You know, I always hated to end up reading my own obituary. Shame I never got one.
That's it. I'm gonna be here in Arlington anyways. Not much is a given. I figured I could be relevant tool to a group who might actually have something to get out of it. I don't necessarily have money or investments, as Mr. Resner puts it. Just got myself and everything I learned along the way.
Well, let's hope that expertise comes in handy. But I'm sure we can end up finding a use for somebody with broad shoulders.
Drake does like them big.
Alright, this comment has come up quite a few times between this quadruple group here. I don't swing that way. That's not my. That's.
Honey,
not.
we know. That's the joke.
I like women.
You're dead,
Honey.
it doesn't matter.
Honey, that's the joke. We know. That's why it's funny.
Okay. Won't bark up that tree. You have my word, Hardware.
All right.
That well just dried up very quick.
It's alright, Shriek. We'll find you another fridge eventually.
Mr. Resmer, you seem to be part of the game. That game.
Well, if
Please.
everybody's being honest, I will be honest as well.
It's a waste of blood.
If everybody's being honest, I'll be honest as well. One of the reasons I want to do this is because great things are expected of me. As Shrika called for my lineage, the primogen cut off before the name of the most important was mentioned. The furthest I can trace my lineage back that I know of is Marius Calhoun. And that name has weight.
Is that a name that Alex might know?
Intelligence politics for anyone who wants to roll it.
Well, I don't want to be accused of metagaming, so...
Aaron just has no fucking clue what that name means, so he's just gonna sip the tea.
Yeah,
I mean, you could try.
Aha! That is a name that I know!
I have a whopping
Never heard
2
of
dots intelligence and nothing in politics, my guy. I'm not even gonna try.
I got nothing.
Shriek, sadly, in
My specialty, and I got 1 success.
oh, no.
sounds about right. You are not allowed to metagame at all now. You are they stupid.
No, he's not stupid.
I still bad.
Are you sure you don't want to spend a willpower on that?
Dude, I have 3 willpower. I spend even just 1 willpower tonight. I can almost guarantee the frenzy is happening and not in my favor.
Okay. Okay. I
I
understand.
am very cautious about spending willpower at all times.
I completely understand. It's the Wendigo issue all over again. But it does strike you with the way that. So Shriek, I'll give you this one. The fact that he brought it up after the fact does mean that it does carry some kind of importance to him. Might be something worth researching at some point. But Alex, you've been in Texas for quite some time now. A couple of years, thereabouts, right?
Actually, I would think my interest in Marius has likely come from the other side of that coin, the Tremere.
Well, the reason that you would know that name is that if you are if you've been in Dallas for some time, that you know that one of Marius Calhoun's grandchilder had made his way through Dallas at one point and disappeared in San Antonio. That being
Kyle.
Kyle A. Calhoun.
Even I remembered that one.
Yes. I forgot his first name there for a second. Kyle Calhoun. His coterie came in through Dallas after Jackson was leveled. They came in roughly 7 or 8 years ago. You came in shortly thereafter, and then they went on a crusade to San Antonio to oust the hero of Jackson, Urian Doyle, and came back unsuccessful. Shamed was the rest of the coterie, and Kyle went missing.
Interesting. You're a descendant of Prince Marius Calhoun.
He'll get a serious look on his face. And now you can see why I want to make things right.
In what way are you related to? You're not. Different line, I'm assuming. Kyle A. Calhoun.
That was a direct childer of his, correct?
No, Kyle is a great grandchilder who has
Okay.
4 generations removed. But the only converging point between the two of you is Marius.
We can both trace back to the same start as they were.
You're right, that is a very big name.
So, spicy tamale situation.
He's
Sorry,
a descendant
not
of the
big.
Prince of Jackson. The fallen Prince of Jackson.
Fallen.
Yes.
Story is
Which
him go
Jackson?
back to the
Jackson, Texas.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi.
You ain't from around
See?
here.
See, she does think everything is Texas.
Yeah.
In fairness, that's why I asked too. There's a few Jacksons.
Yeah. But tales of his exploits go back to, I believe, the Black Death.
And yet around here, the tale of his death is probably what rings the strongest.
So you can see the pressure.
Absolutely. You can see why you're here too.
Well, that just explains a whole bunch. That's a nice little puzzle piece. Okay.
But I don't expect you all to make a decision on this on the spot without due diligence and thought to be put into this.
Well, tell you what. I, for one, am famished. So, since you want to be so helpful, Mr. Dorian Resner, I will end up acquiring his services, and we'll just we'll end up seeing on how this interview goes. And I'm sure Alexa wants to end up talking with her potential new employee. who became incredibly boring the second that I got shut down. But, I don't hold it against you. You can't be... No one can be perfect. You're not me.
Look, just because he's off limits does not mean you can't window shop.
Aaron just gives a slow turn to Dorian.
Mr. Resner, you and me are going to have a bit of a conversation.
As you wish. It'd be my pleasure.
Alright.
I'll get up and I'll put my jacket on.
And where are you two headed?
I'm going hunting.
You're going hunting. Okay.
But
And I'm
using the
guessing
ride. I'm
I'm guessing I'm
ride
going to help.
as
Yeah.
I'm using the ride as excuse to end up talking with them one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I thought I was acquiring takeout because it was as an interview of being able to convince people.
No. He's got something else in mind.
Oh,
Might
well.
not be right away, but...
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that in a moment. But that does leave Alex and Aaron alone. With a staffer downstairs, but that's about it.
Alex actually, for a moment, looks a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that Shriek has left her alone with Winters.
Alex, you'll notice that the moment the door closes behind them, your light bulb flickers.
Damn it! Shriek's pest got into my wiring?
I wouldn't think it's something like that.
Suddenly
Why
the
not?
bulb just pops.
Son of
Jesus!
Bitch. Sorry. That's on me.
Why are you sorry? What do you mean it's on you?
Complicated to explain.
A bulb pops
Oh.
in the other room.
Damn it. Lights don't exactly like me. Sorry, ma'am. I'm gonna have to conduct any other interviews in under the moonlight, if you don't mind.
You know what? Let's take a walk. Because let's outside.
I'll buy you new bulbs.
I'm gonna have to find a new meeting place for the group. It's
I got an idea. I got something. We'll just walk. Your lead.
please.
Alright. So those two go walking as well. Are you going hunting as well, or are you just taking a walk?
I think just taking a walk for now.
Okay. You can continue on. You exit the shop. The staff girl, she's just minding the shop as best she can with 0 customers coming in, and all of a sudden an investor of some kind has left the building with the redhead. The very strangely dressed redhead with the bug problem. She just you can tell she's probably not a fan of Shriek. Swats a fly on the
She's
wall. as he
alternative
leaves.
and really likes bugs.
She swats a fly on the side of the wall.
No!
But you and Aaron leave the shop, start going for a walk, get some of that moonlight and fresh air. Down the alleyway,
All
past
right.
the parking lot.
All right. So you make light bulbs.
And candles go out, and street lights flicker. Have to change the headlights on my truck every week or so. The works.
That's one hell of a cat.
Yeah, it's on top of the usual somber bullshit. So, apologies on that. I'll definitely get you some new light bulbs. Fun fact, it only happens to lit bulbs. But unlit bulbs that aren't connected to electricity or anything, they tend to be fine.
Your existence, not...
No.
Just from an occult standpoint, Coffee,
Hmm.
does that sound like a particular ability that I might be aware of?
Intelligence occult.
Aaron special.
And that I wouldn't get in my specialty, that would I?
What specialty was, were you thinking?
No, not blood magic.
Nah.
It's got nothing to do with blood magic.
No, it's more... It's not really magic-based, no.
No, I'm thinking ones that starts with an O.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus, no. Willpower. Willpower!
That is a messy crit, my friend.
Yeah, I'm willpowering that.
Let's see what the fates decide.
I want to get rid of that 10, and I'm going to
No.
willpower the 2 fails.
Okay. So you're still rolling 3. Okay. So you changed the 10 to a regular success. So it's a regular 4. No, it's not magic related. No, it's more akin to... Because you're vaguely aware on most kindred what their sort of curse manifests like. For most Nosferatu, Shriek being a bit of an exception, they're disfigured physically. For Ventru, it's perhaps that they're arrogant or something to the like. They're picky about what they feed upon. There's a number of different sort of stereotypes that come up as a result of the way that the blood manifests itself. Maybe it's linked to that, or maybe it's something a little more mythological. You have heard of vampires who have been killed by stakes. You have heard of the scent of garlic shooing other vampires away. It's a rare condition, but it happens. Maybe this is something similar? It's hard to really know. You've never really met someone or really heard of anyone, at least in recent history, that lights just seem to go out around them. Whether it be candlelight, whether it be incandescent light, whether it be fluorescent light, whether it be headlights and LEDs. It's a weird one. Maybe worth some study.
Definitely going to look into it.
But he does seem to carry the sort of lack of reflection.
That's a good point. If it's something you ever test, the way that Aaron's reflection distorts is almost like you're looking at you turn the mirror towards him, or you turn the camera towards him, and at first it seems normal until you see his face. And then you see it's like a cavernous black hole just fissures into nothingness.
That's
And the reason that you would even see that in the first place is when you look and his visage sort of reflects in the window of the store. That's when you see that blackish face that you're fairly certain you do not want to see in a regular mirror. Otherwise, he gets sucked in or something.
you are going to require some research. That's quite an interesting manifestation you've got.
You talking about the lights?
Yes.
Alright.
And
Yeah.
that creepy as hell reflection.
That's a normal thing for my clan.
Yes. But not like that.
Fair enough. Well, as long as I'm keeping on the DL for the most part, it ain't exactly something most people see. Conveniently, I feel almost bad when I gave those two girls a ride back to Elysium the other night with Shriek there. Had to get a peek of that, but it seemed to unnerve them.
Well, grand scheme of things, they are infants.
I kind of got that gist. Didn't have a lot of experience behind them. Kept asking questions. Bit of a debacle between all that. If I might, before any sort of further questions or negotiations. Thank you.
For what?
Just having some grace about Uncle Harry.
Harrison Winters. I watched the light left, and it is not a face or a moment that it bothers deeply. Same as the condition of the person that we were seeking to remove from their care. While I may not seem the emotion, I am still a person.
Respectable. I respect it. That's it. It's at this point that Aaron will finally put on his cowboy hat, adjust it. So, Miss Alexandra, what might I do to improve my resume for your application process?
A lack of exploding light bulbs. I will not be hiring you for my shop. However, I can introduce some of the domain. That is something I can.
That would be most appreciated.
And you are welcome. Drop by. Who knows, perhaps you'll learn.
That is part of my gist of hopes. I won't lie, when I first got him, well, first became one of the undead, wasn't exactly the most pleased about it. But it's a mixed bag of trying to cause Vince a bunch of trouble, and for a couple of years before I had to be beholden to really what it's all about.
So at this point, you find yourself, dare I say it, sympathizing. Rather than feeling the need to stake through every one of his.
I think that's a good way to put it. I found that maybe having a set of rules for a bunch of megalomaniac serial killers might be a good thing.
I think you'll come to find that most of them don't try. Megalomaniac killers. Some of us actually do try to live as humanly as possible.
That's the preferred way to handle it.
Well, that's why the Camarilla is.
I'd have to agree on that sentiment. I figured I'd be forthright in everything that I am, so you don't get any sort of wrong impressions of me here. I ain't a big thinker type. Most of what I'm about is pretty ham and fist. Preferably, I like my nights calm.
If you like calm nights, I think you're looking at one coder.
That being said, we have Shriek and Dorian to catch up with. Shriek was intending to feed along the way, but there is moments of driving or walking, whatever it is that you two prefer at the moment, for you to converse with yourselves or with each other, speaking out loud so the other can hear. You know, that sort of thing.
He looks around and just feels the seats. It's a really nice car. oh, that is really nice.
I think your
Dorian
mic
will
is kind
turn
of
over.
turned your mic is kind of turned away from you, Derek, because I have you turned all the way up and you're still quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dorian will reach over and turn on the heated seats.
Ooh, cozy.
Oh, that I've been missing. Oh. Please tell me this is Victorian leather too.
I don't know what kind it is, but I know that I've enjoyed it.
Oh, this is a life. But I guess I can't just enjoy that little bit. Honestly, I just enjoy in case, Mr. Dresner, you haven't noticed, I enjoy the finer things in life too. Not all of us get the opportunity to enjoy them, but I myself very much do. But I wanted to end up talking to you because you smell new. Very new.
I've been around for a while, but only recently come off the leash. I had a very sheltered upbringing because of my sire.
And
When it comes to affairs of our kind.
okay, so
I'm comfortable in the human world very much, but
you're not in that world anymore.
they'll have to pass sometimes.
Maybe. But I get it. I really do. Very much do. I've had to deal with my fair share of venture. In fact, 2 of them in the domain I may have visited / annoyed over the course of many, many nights. You, on the other hand, I think are enjoying the chance to get off the leash a little too much. And no judgment, really. It's just you're in a contradiction of situation. And maybe nobody's pointed that out to you.
Well, I welcome information whenever I can get it.
See, you have this very prim and proper circumstance. That's great. That's great. The court loves that. They eat that up. Right? And keep working with it, you know. But while I know that you're trying to, you know, with hardware back there, you ended up having a moment where you wanted to crack a joke, right? But when you do that, this Calhoun, right?
Yes.
How do you think he would have reacted if he was in the room right there?
I can see your point.
I get it. I really do. I am of the clan that currently holds the princedom. I can't declare a lineage to him, and I have my own mess to handle with him. But you need somebody who knows the court. You need somebody who plays the game. You got the bling. You got the cha-ching. But you and I both know that's not real power.
No. They are means to an end.
Exactly. So, I'm going to help you get there. It's not going to be for free. I'm not going to claim it's going to be clean, quick, and easy. But I know the game.
Coffee.
I like...
Oh, sorry.
I like... No, go ahead.
No, I wanted to, I thought you were pausing for a second. I would like to do a politics roll to see what I know about Shriek.
Okay, intelligence and politics.
And you know what? I will spend the willpower because I want all the information I can to try to get 2 more dice.
Ooh.
That's,
5.
Oh.
That's 5 successes.
Brief second, I thought that was 7.
Yeah, I thought it was 7 for a second too. I was like, ooh.
Right? Ooh. But no, it is 5. Well, he just said that he shares a clan with Prince Warsi of Dallas. Nosferatu? But he's not quite disfigured like them. The most that you know. No, he's more along. He's got some. He's got bugs crawling out of him for one. But as far as his reputation goes, he's not well liked. But he's known to get the job done when the job is snooping. If there's something that somebody needs to know about something or other, it's not a bad idea to ask Shriek. As a last resort, of course. If you can find someone else who might be able to give you the information, of course, that they're maybe the better candidate, but it's not unheard of that he knows things that even those amongst his clan might not be aware of. He's shrewd. He's crude. But he's effective. Perhaps that's what you need.
Yes. Well, there is a reason that I sought out your coterie. Your reputation does precede you.
I work hard at it. I'm grateful for you noticing. So let's talk. Reputation. Perfect place to start. You need that. Reputation I've seen crumble a blue blood. Leave them to the point where they're going to lose their haven. Imagine that. Blue blood destitute. I know more than a few who would love to pay to see that. Kind of kings living in the gutters with the rest of us. But I don't want that for you. No. I want you to be the very model of a modern major venture. And to my own purposes, of course.
If I can play the part, I can be more useful.
Oh, no. You can't play this part. You have to be that part.
Understood. Misspoken.
Yeah, but those little misspeaks is the kind of thing that eventually gets your head taken from your shoulders. Every word's a weapon. Every little bit of innuendo is, it's a chink in the armor. You wear your power tie. Well, what is a power tie? It's a statement, a little tweak to what is effectively the uniform of a fucking bureaucrat. Now, if I want, I can continue the whole kit and caboodle. But I know that right now. Let me ask you this. You on good terms with our local hound?
No, that was honestly one of the next stops that I was going to make.
Good.
I need to learn the new players of this domain and
Okay.
make
Very
my
professional, very private. Owns a well, storage area. A lot of shady shit goes on in there, and half of which I'm pretty sure most people don't want to be looking into too close.
Understood.
It's the kind of place that people disappear. Really good at his job, all things considered. put his hands around my neck, and I had to end up telling him to go harder, Daddy. But that's how I know. I know where the chinks are. I know how to crack the armor. And I know how to make it stronger. If that's interesting to you, Mr. Resner.
As I said, I never turn down information. Information
Good.
is power.
It is. It is. So I'm going to let you in on a little bit of history. I'm told that most of you guys have a good understanding of the concept of Rome. You know, that was when you guys were big league. I mean, big. Everybody knew who Ventru were. I mean, compared to now, I'm told right now, modern days, it ain't anything like that. So, don't ever let them take your face. Don't let them catch you flat-footed. Assess. Listen. Really listen. Because I would love a car like this, but unlike you, it would be ruined with me after a week. Which really sucks. I mean, that seat is warming up really nice right now, and it's just on the small of the back. Making all kinds of noises in here. So, I'm gonna go get my fill. And I'm gonna end up helping you out. Everybody wants their cut. I'm no exception. But back in the day, Roman period, you might not believe this, but Ventru and Nas, like this. You see, when somebody bows to you, it kind of incites everybody else to do the same. Have most people in the room bow, and suddenly anybody who's left over has to ask, are they really here to buck the trend? And given my own reputation, well, the last time I bowed to somebody who was wearing a mask, and I call him Prince. I didn't give my sire that kind of thing. And I sure as shit didn't give that to any other blue blood. But if it's what it takes to get you on top, I think that's a beautiful relationship. What do you think?
I was told by my sire that the Nos and the Ventru have had somewhat of a symbiotic relationship, elevating each other. They work well together, their strengths. There's one reason that, as I said, I sought you guys out, because as your reputation precedes you, you are quite effective. And I want to get in on the ground level here with you all.
Ooh, this one.
Ah.
Yeah, that one.
Definitely has curb appeal.
Look, if you're stupid enough to paint flowers on your goddamn mailbox like that, you deserve to be fucking eaten.
I was talking about the lilies underneath it, but the paint is quite tacky. I agree.
Yeah, this is my duty to the neighborhood. Okay, we need to correct this shit now, and I don't have a baseball bat, so excuse me. I'm gonna go eat somebody.
I'll be around the corner waiting.
Shriek, go ahead and make your feeding roll.
Well, this is always fun.
Yes, indeed it is.
Wow.
Darling, are you sure you want to leave it that way?
I'll take some extra time and do it again rather than risk it. I just hate the fact that I gotta let that.
They're
Whatever the
awake.
hell with paint?
They're awake
That.
far too late. It's far too late in the night. They should be asleep by now. Their sleep schedule's all wrong. You know you've been to this house before at least once, right? Question mark. They usually go to bed at like midnight or 10 o'clock, right? No, not this time. Seems that they're awake too late in the night. So you wait around. Roll again. Waiting around for an hour. See if they finally fall asleep.
My dice hate me today, Coffee.
I'm sorry, Derek.
There we go.
Much
7 successes.
better. Much better. They finally go for... Maybe it's an insomnia sort of night. They finally go to their medicine cabinet in the closet, in the bathroom. Take a couple sleeping pills and they're out cold. You know they're out cold because you've been here maybe once or twice before. And like that, you slide open the window. They don't lock their windows. Who does in the suburbs? Perfect feeding ground for those who would slip into the night unnoticed. You slip in, you have your drink. How much do you take?
I'm gonna take 2 for now.
2 for now, alright.
And while I leave, I'm going to pilfer some stuff, but I'm also going to look for like any kind of contacts. You know the usual thing. It's how I build my network. It's how I build my knowledge base in the human world. And maybe I might even pick something up, something nice for my new part.
For that, go ahead and make a wits and investigation. See if they find anything worthy enough of your new and true friend.
This one I will spend a willpower on.
Okay.
4 successes.
You're looking at the nightstand. They must have just hit some kind of big promotion or something at work. You know, the nice shirts in the closet, the nice pants, the nice shoes. Those weren't the same ones that you saw here the last time. Curious. Something must have improved. You look at the nightstand and it's a beautiful, beautiful Rolex. This guy seems to be doing well. He'd certainly notice if his Rolex was missing, especially if it's insured. But does that matter?
Fuck it, he has insurance. Besides, what's the worst that's gonna happen?
You look at the business card. Looks like he just became partner at a firm.
I proceed to exit, get back in the car. Sorry about that. Took longer than expected. But you can't
Well-
rush perfection.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right.
I agree. And he extends a card and a watch.
He'll look at the watch. New
That's
Year's
nice.
model. And he'll, very nice. And he'll look at the card. Is this a firm that he is aware of?
I'm gonna say that that's an intelligence.
Finance?
I
Either
was thinking
finance
more
or an
lawyer
academic.
firms, so more like politics or academics.
Lawyers would be academics, I would say.
Yeah.
That's where you figure your study of law.
Yeah. So yeah, intelligence and academics. This might be somebody you know, or might be aware of.
I have no academics. So we're going straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence. You got it.
Not much education.
2.
The Dallas. Certainly looks like he's, according to the address on the card, looks like the firm is stationed downtown. It's kind of lucky enough, a business law. So,
I think this could be useful.
not somebody that you're aware of, but somebody who could be useful to you. Maybe a relatively new firm.
He's going to have an incredibly bad day tomorrow. So, if good fortune happens to come about when bad things happen, well, sure, that's just another opportunity that happened to land in your lap.
This should be amusing.
Don't pretend to be amused. I know it sounds weird. Amongst kindred, right? Let's be real on what we are. We're a bunch of vicious, cannibalistic killers. Walking corpses that eat the living. However, that thin veneer of social acceptance, that thing, that is really something to be mastered. Me, I learned to master it by flaunting it. If everybody's worried on what I'm doing, feels repulsed, feels a little on edge, feels like they're not really good around me, things just get a little awkward. Well, then I know exactly where they stand. I'm not the only one who does that trick. I just do it in an overt way, but you can do it subtle. You can do it with power, authority, anything, really. You just gotta be smart about it. You, my dear friend in the lap of luxury, you know what? I think it's better we end up learning the old-fashioned way. Let's keep driving. You said you wanted to end up meeting our hound.
That I do.
What was your sire's name again?
Liliana.
Liliana.
Resner.
Okay. I will. Liliana, is she known for anything?
Not lately. She was wounded in defense of the Alamo and took many years to recover.
Defender of the Alamo.
There was a little bit more to that battle than is in the history books. If you hear
You're
her
gonna
tell it.
find that's true all around, my friend. You're gonna find that's true all around.
And I think that is a perfect place for us to take a quick break. And when we come back, our coterie will reconvene, and we'll see what they get up to next. So stick around, everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Blood and Iron, Dead Man's Hand, for our stream anniversary. So, 5 years streaming on this channel with VtM and things. Getting right back to it, Alex had a thought. Had a thought that turned into an idea that turned into her wanting to introduce Mr. Aaron Winters to their local hound. One who does the bidding of what a hound might need to do to keep a domain in check. Keep the domain orderly. Especially with there being a new primogen in town. And, well, the old ones needing to take on a few extra hands as ordered by the prince. As both Dorian and Aaron have reasons to be suspect in this domain. So, with that, Alex has collected Aaron, and both of them, I believe, would be riding in Aaron's truck, if I'm not mistaken, towards the storage facility where the hound makes his presence known, where he's often found, and things of a quiet nature disappear. Things that ought to disappear. Things like Kyra. So, you make your way towards the storage facility. And wouldn't you know, Shriek had a very similar thought about Dorian. Dorian also needs to meet this very powerful Ventru in the domain of Arlington. And so that is where both parties meet up once again, finding each other in the parking of the domain, or the parking of the storage facility, I should say. And so here you all are, all four of you. And there's another vehicle in the parking lot. One that you know for a fact isn't Raphael's, because Raphael probably doesn't park on the premises. You've never seen a vehicle here for him. But there's another vehicle. It's rather nice. Seems to be a luxury sedan. Nothing too auspicious like an Audi, but definitely on the higher end of maybe the sort of moderately priced vehicles.
Interesting.
The paint job is immaculate. It looks spotless.
Go ahead.
Just gonna look at the car. Look to the car that Shriek arrived in. Look at Shriek. Great minds really think alike.
That they certainly do.
He's just smiling at you as he's driving in this nice leather gaudy style car. You get to sit in the rust bucket like I traded up.
But yeah, Dorian, you can't help but notice that Shriek does tend to leave behind little critters. Maybe some gnats kind of buzzing around the top of his head and a grub kind of crawling out of his ear.
Nothing that can't be fixed. He has an idea. Dorian files away an idea for this. And has a plan for when he gets home.
All right. Well, you are here. Parked
We'll
out.
get out.
I proceed.
Sorry.
1 second. 1 second. Open up the door, sit out, walk around the vehicle, and proceed to open his door.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
And as he gets out, he simply ends up saying, "Presentation."
See. And I would adjust my jacket, button the top, the 2 buttons. Or, would this be a 3? No, this would be a 2-button suit.
3-button suit's really formal.
Yeah. Well, he's not above formal. Like, if he wants to get into his full regalia, he's going to have tails and stuff too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Victorian as fuck. So. But, he'll adjust himself and... So, shall we?
Of course.
Well.
And I proceed to end up going forth to end up going to the office to end up seeing if I can intercept the group from Raphael before Raphael finds them.
Before entering, Erin's gonna just kind of in a hushed tone to Alex. Where's his plans? Is this a setup? What's going on?
Shriek and I have been working together for quite some time.
Ah,
Sometimes we happen to think alike. Usually, when that happens, it's a good idea.
take your word for it.
After you, Mr. Winters. And she gestures towards the office where she saw Shriek wandering towards.
Aaron will proceed as instructed.
And you all are making your way towards the entrance of the storage facility office?
Yes.
All right. Since there are some rather large windows, and it seems that the office is lit up on the inside, you do see that there is, of course, Raphael behind the counter, but it looks like he's having a conversation with the new Primogen. Dr. Keller.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I proceed to knock on the side of the door. Make sure that they understand that they have guests. Normally I'd like to be able to snoop, but this is Keller we're talking about. I can't put Anna at risk so early. Dearest Primogen.
You do see them kind of acknowledge you from outside, but they don't unlock the door just yet, because it is locked as you try to enter.
All right. Hey, now I'll listen. Heightened senses.
Heightened senses. Give me a wits plus awareness plus aspects, my friend.
Mm-hmm. My friend now. I hate to do this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna push it.
Ooh, that's a
nice.
crit.
That is 7.
That is indeed 7. You kind of catch the tail end of the conversation because you've knocked on the side of the door and interrupted them briefly, but you then hear Raphael say, "As I was saying, things will run smoothly in this domain. You have my word. Anything gets out of hand, you'll be the first to know. Primogen." Good, Mr. Singleton. I completely understand your position, and you have my sincerest sympathies regarding it. Just be on the lookout for different things. And then you see that Dr. Keller turns toward the door, and the door unlocks because it has the switch lock from the inside, and he exits the building. Ah, good evening. Fancy seeing you 2 nights in a row.
He
Good
gives
evening.
a slight bow. Just subtle enough. Respect the position kind of situation.
Yeah, Dorian would do the same. Primogen Keller.
Primogen Keller. It is so good to end up seeing you. And he is surveying your newfound domain so quickly.
As I just should get to work immediately. My new assignment requires my attention.
Of course. I trust you're finding everything in surprising order.
Good enough. Could be better. That's where I'm
Everything.
coming in.
Of Of course.
Some things may change. You'll be on. I'm sure you're well enough connected to this whole domain that you'll figure it out.
Not set on making a decree too early, I hope.
No, not at all.
A wise Primogen.
I don't need the rabble rousing.
Of course not. It's a headache to the prince, and not one that I intend to have incurred. After all, the last time he ended up getting so much as a small headache, it required a lot of fire burning stakes and rooftops.
Ah, yes, we all do recall the purge.
I'm glad that we all end up taking it as a historic warning. We were simply here coming to introduce the newest members of your domain to the Hound, should they end up requiring anything that involves their proper authority or you are outside of contact. Our due diligence to your domain.
Of course. Pleasure seeing you again, Mr. Resner, Mr. Winters.
Pleasure seeing you again, Primogen Killer. And Aaron would have taken, just for a note, Aaron would have taken off his hat when Killer did come out. Just everyone was talking at once, so I didn't want to say anything.
That's fine.
He's got his hat held in his hands as a show of respect and gives a polite nod.
Polite. Cordial. Just how you should be.
Just doing my due diligence.
I do hope that over time we do not become thorns in each other's sides. But
Should certainly hope not, Primogen. I seek to much learn from the changes here.
well, I have other duties to attend to. More people to see. So,
Any way we can assist?
I haven't yet established a meeting place of my own just yet. So I'm going to those who maybe gather together themselves, making a proactive concern of my position rather than a stagnant one. Not like Brucado.
No. Not like Brucado.
Now, have a pleasant evening. I shall call upon you again shortly, I'm sure.
Of course, my Primogen.
How close are you to a frenzy check right now, Shriek?
Internally frustrated, but I'll
Knowing
play
he
the
has
role.
Anna.
No, why do you think I'm being so polite? Not gonna lie, there's a part of me that ends up wondering, can I end up here crushing his spine between my teeth before the Hound gets out of the office? Would be a daring move, wouldn't it?
Might be something to aspire to. Maybe something your beasts on the inside feels a bit of an aspiration to make happen. That tingling of the potence that the Nosferatu are known for, maybe that one day will trigger within you. Because your beast wants vengeance. Or maybe that's the Bloodbond talking.
No, it couldn't be that. Farewell, Primogen. Be well, and drive safe. The roads around here get a little tricky during the evenings.
Yes. The boring suburbs get tricky.
That's the trick. They get boring. And people stop paying attention.
All the more reason to, I suppose.
Always glad to be of service to the Camarilla.
Pleasant evening. And safe driving yourselves.
He steps to the side, allowing his new primogen to pass.
Primogen Keller passes, goes to that vehicle, that other vehicle you see in the parking lot, and gets in the front seat of the car, and begins to drive away. Raphael's, by this time, come to the entry point of the storage facility office, folding his arms, kind of looking at all of you. Sorry about that.
No apologies necessary.
As if you had the same brain. It's uncanny.
Allow me to formally introduce you to the two newest members of Primogen Keller's domain. Mr. Aaron Winters and if I recall, was in the room when it was established he was La Sombra.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Of Clan La Sombra. And Mr. Dorian Resner of Clan Ventru, childer of Liliana Resner, the defender of the Alamo.
I saw you both at court.
He steps to the side.
Dorian would step up and extend his hand. It's, what is his last name?
Singleton.
Singleton. Sheriff Singleton. It is a pleasure to officially meet you.
Hound. I am not
Or,
Sheriff.
no, I'm sorry. That's my fault. I'm sick.
It's all
It's
good.
Hound Singleton.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I'm out of it.
It's all good.
Sue me.
He's letting his plans out early.
Yes, Hound Singleton.
Sheriff Singleton. I'm Hound. But do you want to be sheriff? No.
Ventrue gonna venture.
Hound.
But yes.
Yeah,
Hound
Hound
Singleton.
Singleton. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mr. Resner. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. I hardly expected to see you here. Of all places.
Mr. Resner is a very busy individual, and they wish to end up making sure that the formalities were all in order before he would end up beginning his new venture within the domain.
Yes, it is only proper to meet the players and those in charge.
I see. I didn't realize the Shriek spoke for you.
Heaven forbid.
I know you do like to talk a lot, Shriek. That's not uncommon.
It is a lovely voice, and I do play it well.
So what brings y'all to my little neck of the woods? Aside from, introducing me to these two.
Well, aside from that, I thought
What?
simply to check up.
Oh, check up on me. Well,
Concern, truly.
it's touching.
Well, given the fact that even the Primogen has to offer condolences.
Condolences?
And Now, I am using this as a prod, and I'm going to try for an insight. Probably not going to get anything, but this is a prod.
Do you mind if I like watch this and try to insight as well?
So you're assisting?
I can assist or do a separate just to see what I can glean.
Okay, separate insights, because you're not really
Okay.
speaking to each other in this very moment.
All right. All I'm doing is I'm prodding because specifically the Primogen said, "You have my condolences." Implying something that he ended up saying before we got here, shifted something that may not be in Mr. Singleton's favor. I'm trying to ascertain what that might be, or how, like, what his state is despite his prim and proper attitude.
Trying to gauge his underlying mood. Okay, yeah, what's in the insight?
Ooh, 4.
Ooh, that's toasty.
That's hey, dice finally warmed up.
Oh, another 4. The underlying mood of Raphael Singleton. What you heard from Keller to Singleton was more out of sympathy for the both of them, since they both don't like their position. But also, Singleton's not... He doesn't know what to make of Dr. Keller. Malkavians can be unpredictable, and sometimes predictably unpredictable. He doesn't know Keller well enough to be able to gauge him yet, and he hates that. Despite the calm exterior.
My thoughts were, is given how he earlier snubbed a domain under your watchful gaze and ours, there would be mixed feelings about the situation.
I think everybody in this domain has mixed feelings about the situation, but I think that's
But very
obvious.
few of prominence.
Well, no Primogen wants to be assigned here.
So why was he?
That I plan to undercover myself as well.
We of course serve the Primogen, but in order to best serve him, we need to understand his modus operandi. Difficult, given his... He looks to Resner for a moment, then back to Singleton. Lineage.
Given that Keller's been in the city for quite a lot longer than I've been embraced, it's hard to know. He doesn't let very many people in, from what I know, and keeps everyone at arm's length, but somehow has managed to get the position that he does, prior to becoming Primogen, by gaining favor anyway. So how do you explain somebody who's that antisocial gaining favor with people in that sort of way? It just doesn't add up. He's got something. He knows something. He is something. Which could be to our benefit, to be quite honest.
Our benefit.
Well, if he's a powerful figure that nobody wants to snub.
I was very much wondering. But of course, while I understand that your position here is one of necessity.
of a protective nature.
We've been very grateful for your service to the domain. And of course, we end up serving the domain. I'm just giddy with the possibilities. But to your earlier question, are you asking for a outside opinion? Or are you asking for something a little more when it comes to our new primogen?
I think it's hasty to get our feet wet in that one just yet. Patience is more of a virtue in this case. We'll see how it plays out.
Can I ask something?
What is that?
Well, we never met,
No.
but you knew her quite well. And
Quite well, yes.
you said a lovely primogen has been around for quite some time. What was their relationship like? Out of pure curiosity.
What relationship? For all I know, Keller hasn't stepped out of his tower of a hospital since God knows how long. The days seem to run together these days. Rarely does he ever come out of his lab. Until now.
Interesting. So, to your knowledge, he had absolutely nothing to do with Ricardo.
Hate to speak ill of the dead. But she, much like every other primogen in the position, did not like being here. And we've had 4 over the course of my embrace.
And yet you've only served under 1. Now 2.
Now 2.
Of course, we don't count ourselves while we carried the title was as coterie. And a temporary measure, of course.
Still. Ricardo and I were on good terms. I wouldn't necessarily consider us 100% friends, per se, but workable relationship? Certainly. She was just flighty, as Toreador tend to be.
Mr. Singleton, tell me something I don't know.
And you'll tell me something I don't?
He smiles. I'd be surprised. A confirmation, perhaps, given your observable nature. But valuable information, given your history with the domain.
Well, Ricardo always kind of dreamed of siring a child. Just never got the opportunity, I guess.
She did. 2, in fact.
You mean the twins that I've been hearing about?
He smiles ear to ear. Truly a hound worth his salt.
I don't think anyone's ever seen them before.
No.
And they
But
didn't
an
appear
interesting
until
crack
after
in-
she disappeared.
True.
You think Brucato broke tradition? She would
I
never.
believe she. I don't believe. If she did, she had a very good reason for it. But you respected Brucato.
Yes.
And
Much as she didn't like her duties around here, she still did them.
responsible to the end. So what would possibly push Brucato to breaching tradition?
The only situation I can imagine that being possible is if her hand was forced.
Confirming your earlier suspicions. But you said that those two didn't even begin to appear until well after her disappearance.
That's when I
So
started hearing
perhaps-
rumors of them.
So perhaps, dare I wager, Brucato's not dead.
That letter did say that she felt like she was being hunted.
I am
Y'all
currently
get rid
the
of the hunters. And didn't find any evidence of her.
We have leads. And we continue to investigate until something concrete can be offered to you. So your time is used wisely.
If she's still alive.
Potentially.
I don't like the thought of that.
Suffice it to say, I am the current custodian of her two children, who have been acknowledged and accepted within the domain, clearing you of any messy business to do with the two at this point in time.
So that's 4 more mouths that I know about.
I'd rather you know about them, and I'm sure you share that sentiment.
Rather know about them? Yes. Rather have them? I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that Keller's going to put a limitation on feeding rights out, extending past Arlington. That hospital of his is too precious. And that hospital tends to run the entire district of the domain that's north of us. Kind of bordering on the city proper. You know,
All the more
medical
curious.
college and all of that.
True. I feel as though a great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. And, of course, I'm
Placed.
Singleton.
Placed on mine, possibly.
No. Not unless you wish it to.
Well, there's 4 more mouths than there were yesterday.
Well, 2 more.
Officially.
Now, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I have other business I have to attend to. Mr. Winters, Mr. Resner, I am sure Alexandra will love to end up continuing to enjoy your hospitality. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go here, prance off into the night, and decide to end up actually here finding some stuff out. Hopefully make our dear hound's job just a little bit easier. But I hope at the very least, Hound Singleton, you can at least put another puzzle piece back into the box.
Oh. Dorian is going to reach into his inside jacket pocket and pull out a business card and hand it to Shriek. Should you need any assistance. And it'll have his contact information.
He lowers his head as he accepts it and starts to end up waving to the rest. Be good now, girls.
Fun shriek.
Alright. Shriek makes his way out of the building and out towards the rest of the night.
He's got a set of twins to look after.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Hound Singleton, I'd like to make a transition, if I may, and speak to the owner of Singleton Storage.
Alright.
I may be starting ventures in the domain and need a place to store merchandise and the like. And I could not think of a better person to work with.
Much like every other customer, you are paying a fee.
I would have it no other way.
But this one's double.
As you wish.
Because, the failed childer of Marius Calhoun, not a name that I like. You're trouble. And I don't need trouble in my storage unit.
I assure you that everything that I am doing is above board.
You say that. Yeah, every venture says that. I say that, and I'm a liar. So, Mr. Dorian Resner Calhoun, depending on what you're storing, will determine the price. What are you storing?
Equipment, clothing, and possibly for the short term until the club is set up, liquor.
Liquor.
Yes.
You want to store merchandise in my storage facility that you do intend to then sell.
Well, until the spaces are set up, I'd like to have all my ducks in a row before opening. I'll be shifting merchandise from other areas and other equipment to start and lessen the the startup fees. It's easier to replace some things and bring over alternate equipment. But
Right.
that requires a place to put it and shuffle things around.
And you are, what, barred from using your storage facilities in the city?
No, I'd rather have things close by. And I thought this would be a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Uh-huh. As I said, there's a fee. You want to set up clubs here. And I'm aware of the kinds of clubs that you run. I wouldn't be good at my job if I didn't.
I would expect nothing less.
Why here?
Why not? Everybody likes music.
Everybody
wants
likes
to
music.
let loose.
But the kinds of bars you find around here are dives, or they're country clubs,
True.
or just the wing place that you go down the road. That's where you get your liquor around here. It's the suburbs.
I see untapped clientele. Maybe even be able to draw in people from surrounding areas.
Yeah. I think I understand.
Where would my other clubs have been?
Probably like downtown Fort Worth and Dallas.
Okay, people may find it too hard to go to downtown Fort Worth and Dallas, but maybe this is
Smack
close
in the
enough.
middle. It's a 20-minute drive.
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how the fuck Texas is laid out.
It's fun. These two cities are basically like merging together. So Dallas and
Okay.
Fort Worth are basically the same city, and Arlington is like a city limits in between both, like smack in the middle.
Just don't ever tell somebody from Fort Worth that.
But there's a lot of little surrounding towns that are still considered part of the Dallas and Fort Worth area. So
Now, as for the type of club I'm going to be opening, I'm not going to make it the same as my other clubs. I'm going to tailor it and fine-tune it as it goes. Have it find its footing.
as I would expect. But listen, I understand your ambition. I understand your want and desire. I understand your motives. But your family line is trouble. It's bad luck. And frankly, I don't want that kind of bad luck following me.
That is understandable. That is just a matter of perspective. If you do not wish me to do that, I can find other storage. I just simply wanted to offer business to where it should go first.
If you've got the blood to pay for it, maybe. But you don't. Because that's why you're setting up a club here.
Yes.
So you have no way to pay me until your club gets up and running, which you need storage space for in order to get up and running. Vicious circle, you see.
Ah. Well, I was unaware of the kind of payment that you wanted. That is my inexperience and misunderstanding.
What do I need money for?
Money is useful. It
We're
is a
dead.
means to an end.
Basic needs are shelter and food. So if you don't have either You're in a pickle, mate. I could call it a boon. With interest.
I'm trying to think of how I can leverage. He was talking about housing and food. I can't provide food at the moment because of that, but I
Yeah.
definitely have the means to provide housing.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a
Can I do like a persuasion roll or something?
charisma
Because
and persuasion.
Dorian's a lot better at talking shit than
Oh
I
yeah.
am.
Yeah. I figured that's kind of where we were going with that. And so, make a charisma persuasion.
Gotcha. And you know what? I will rouse the blood for this because I want this to succeed, because this is, if I can get on working terms with someone that does not like me and change a attitude and develop an ally, that would be worth it.
Yeah, your lineage in this part of town speaks volumes in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Little did they know.
That's a toasty one.
You know what?
You happy with that?
Nope, I'm going to willpower for another 3 dice.
Okay.
This character has a shitload of willpower for a reason.
For a reason. Ooh, that's another 2. That's 7 altogether.
Yeah.
You get to talking a little bit, and Aaron and Alex, you overhear this conversation a little bit, and maybe it was unexpected that Raphael would open up a little bit about the situation in Arlington regarding some of the thin bloods in town. Some of the ones that may have been a little bit more hidden, trying to stay under the radar, trying to not make waves. That perhaps they needed a place to stay. Perhaps they were the ones who were needing it the most, and that
Dorian just bought an apartment complex.
that if Dorian would be able to supply some kind of housing to the standard of kindred living that would be appropriate for someone of a venture lineage, then he could offer up the storage space for the potential of the bar. The success of the bar is still on your shoulders, but at least you'll have your supplies near at hand, like you want.
That is doable.
Alex is kind of just, there's a little bit of a smile on her face as this deal is going through. And she's kind of giving Singleton a knowing look, like,
He, Dorian would look, or basically say that he will do this, and when he gets home tonight, another thing is added to the docket of either finding a place to break ground and build basically some, like, I don't know what they call them in Texas, but like row homes that are very nice, but it's like a singular construction along the lines of it, and have them be fully light proof, fully, like the kind of windows that you hit a button and they go opaque.
I mean, it's the suburbs. There's always construction projects going on. There's nothing
Yeah.
stopping you from scooping up and buying them out.
Yeah. Either that to, like, maybe a small housing project of, like, like a glen of, like, however many houses they need. But he says that he will put his, his attention to this and solve this problem.
And if your club ends up solving some of the feeding problem that's been going on here, two birds with one stone, Mr. Resner.
Yes, that is what I'm hoping.
I hope it doesn't take long to construct this. And I hope it's successful, but that's on you.
Well, as I said, money is a means, and things can be expedited.
If I might interject.
Mm.
Sorry, this is completely unrelated. Hello. Hi there, my name is Aaron Winters. Clan La Sombra, child of Vincent Roderick, and I thought I had to make this introduction, but I really got to step outside. I apologize. I just wanted to make a formal introduction. Hound Singleton, do you prefer Hound or Mr. Officer?
Whatever you like. Whatever makes you comfortable.
Just... Well, that's probably the first I've heard in a hot second. Oh.
I have
Good
no
to know.
preference. Just know that I maintain the traditions very, very harshly.
Well, that is good to know. And, hope I can live up to those expectations of yours on that same note. Also live up to them. That said, he puts out his hands.
And Raphael will take it and give it a shake. It's a very firm, very doesn't move unless he says so sort of handshake.
It's a good handshake there, sir. Not a fine meeting you. Anyways, I'll just be right outside. Don't mind me. And Aaron
See you
will
out there.
step. As Aaron steps out, the lights begin to. At this moment, the lights begin to flicker, just as he's stepping out. And as soon as he's outside the door, they're back to normal.
My lights on the fritz again?
Don't worry, it's not. It's
Is it Shriek?
no. It's not.
Is it him?
Yes.
La Sombra, right. Oh, joy.
I wanted to thank you for your time, Mr. Singleton. And if there's anybody else that needs help,
I'll think
I
about
tried.
you.
I'll try to do what I can.
Well, as kin, I wish you luck.
I wish you a pleasant evening, sir.
And you as well.
And he'll
He'll-
shake his hand and
Yeah, he'll shake his hand
And-
too. Kind of sealing the deal, as it were.
yeah.
And with Miss Jenkins as our witness to this deal, I think we're solid.
Yes, sir. And he'll get a smile on his face and good evening. Alexandra, I'll meet you outside. Is it? I never really caught your last name. I don't even me. I don't know your last name.
Her last name is Jenkins.
Yeah, her last name is
Okay.
Jenkins.
Miss Jenkins, I will meet you outside then.
I'll see you in a moment.
So, Alex,
What do you think?
what do I think?
Hmm.
About what? There's been a lot going on tonight. I did not realize that there was going to be a lot on my plate.
I was just after general thought. with everything.
Well, there is a lot that I have learned, there's a lot that I've negotiated, and there's a lot of work to do. Still.
Please do feel free to offload anything that I can potentially take care of. I'm no longer a primogen, but this domain has a special place for me.
Well, if you're suspect like just about everyone else in this goddamn domain, then you're not alone. It's the only place some of them could go, so. But trying to avoid casualties in this domain as much as possible.
Is that becoming an actual threat now?
I don't know. Because 2 more Thin Bloods showed up today.
Today?
That I heard about today. And maybe...
They were they local? Before?
I think so. I don't mingle with the mortals very much in this city, as my business tends to be very kindred related. You know, making sure that breaches like that don't happen again. But I'm worried.
I can understand why. If there are Thin Bloods showing up, somebody is breaching tradition.
That, or they're coming from elsewhere.
It might be overstepping some. But if you would like, I would happily put effort into something else.
You're Tremere, right? And you said you can figure out who their sire is?
There are ways to find out more information about them, but I can't guarantee precisely.
I just know that if anyone else gets wind of this, they're dead, and I can't do anything about it. In fact, it might even be at my hand. I should do it now.
I have a way to garner information concerning their bloodline, but I'm still inexperienced in using it. So if you would like me to attend,
I'd like to know that. That way we can put the perpetrator to justice. And I'd rather not get the sheriff involved. Or the Scourge.
I can understand why.
Because you know she'll send Kane. To test him.
Oh. I'm going to say that I know nothing about what's really going on there, but
I was hoping you might.
between Kane, Scourge.
There's always been something there in court, and I just never could put my finger on it, but now that she's basically adopted him...
All I can tell you is the pair of them, from the day that we met, have always been close. Too close.
She's gonna test
He
him
had
one
personal...
day, and it's always on this domain.
Yes. He had personal business to take care of, and next thing we knew, but frankly, it is likely the best place for him. As problematic as it sounds. But the problem at hand, I'll need a chance to feed, and then I can come back and give it a go.
That's fine.
See what I can find out.
That's fine. To find them, you're better off talking to Gerard.
I can certainly do that. I was planning to pay him a visit anyway. Want to get him knowing these two new ones as well.
Oh, I'm sure he's already aware. That's kind of the joy of a Bruja who's kind of keeps his head down.
He might be aware, but having them aware of him too is not a bad thing. I'll be keeping an eye on Winters too. Both of them. Both Winters and this Resonant.
You think they're going to be a problem?
Can't say for sure.
Resnor?
Please, go ahead.
He's from the same bad luck stock as Kyle Calhoun.
I'm aware.
That whole lineage is dead. Except for Liliana and him. Tell me that's not bad luck.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
You're the witch.
Luck is a strange thing. And it can turn on a dime.
That it can. And I think that is where we're going to call the session for tonight. With more going on than possibly anyone ever knows. Wheels within wheels, my friends.
Wheels within wheels. None of it is my wheelhouse.
Fuck, and I'm playing a venture. That means I gotta pay attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For once, I'm
fat
the one who
guy.
doesn't.
Yes, fat guy, you gotta pay attention. If you have to, take notes.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Like, I hope I did a good deal with this tonight to try to set up some good.
Oh yeah. I think I kind of figured you were leaning into, okay, let's roll for this and see where it goes. So I'm glad we kind of.
If you're
picked up on
unsure
it.
if you
Yeah.
can roleplay it, one of the best ways to go about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were kind of leaning into that with the
Also,
I'm not sure what I can do next.
Also, I'm so happy that the rapport that they have built up with Raphael Singleton has not gone out the window, and that he is still seemingly very willing to work with them.
Oh yeah, he's a
That's
venture.
really
He's not going to throw
cool.
away his assets. What are you kidding?
The fact that he even considers them an asset, though, is actually really awesome.
Well,
Like, at this point.
maybe a middling asset, one that has a lot of information, very, very truly.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they can actually do anything about the things on that information they have, well, that remains to be seen. But they have a lot.
It's an asset that has a lot of information. They keep fucking coming to him. He doesn't have to do shit. They just bring all of the major things happening in the domain over to him, and he's like, "All right."
And he'll handle it because he's a hound.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that Alex is trying to do, is she is trying to keep that information coming towards Raphael, which then gives him the ability then to put things where they should be, which then raises his position a little bit more. So she likes Raphael. He's cool. So it's nice to see that he's not willing to just throw that out the window
Oh no, yeah.
just because they've lost their position.
Like, he's right. Like, Keller has earned favor with people without really having to earn favor with them. So nobody really likes him, but everybody kowtows to him. So what's going on there? We'll have to find out on the next episode of Blood and Iron. But with that being said, we can move on to... I don't think we have any stains to issue tonight. So good on you. You have your remainders.
Except for the one that's in the passenger seat of my car.
Hey, Lamau.
And no, it's not because of the bugs. Processing.
Processing.
Derek, what is this expression?
He's just chilling.
Okay.
Just being chilling.
I'm listening in and I'm going, congratulations, Specs. Nor you nor me have to be the brains of the operation for once.
You realize how fucked this campaign is right now, right? If I have to be the brains.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I will help you at every step of the way.
To be fair,
Go.
No,
Fat
to
guy.
be fair,
True.
I expect
fat guy.
the brains from Shriek and the full weight of a pocketbook and clout from me to get shit done. And I'm going to try to lean into becoming the best venture I can, but
I fully
it's tough.
expect.
Fat guy, I think you're smarter than you give yourself credit, and your character is smarter than you maybe give him credit for. So
yeah.
that being said,
Chaotic decisions, stoic personality. It'll work.
the
And
stoic
also,
gremlin energy.
I just want to make a point as well.
Mm.
Alex is still possibly the least psychotic first-time Tremere I've seen in a hot second. Is this your
What?
second Tremere?
No, this is my first Tremere.
Oh,
You're
your
not a
first Tremere-
psychopath. Holy shit.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Hey, mine was.
Good.
They're not known for being psychopaths. They're just emotionally disconnected.
Tremere, everyone's first Tremere character for some fucking reason is a complete psychopath by all pretenses. Just
Everybody
extremely
told me
chaotic.
how much mine was,
Not
and I
mine.
leaned into it.
Not mine. Adrian was a gem. He was a cop.
I have a fucking Tremere in my character. First time Tremere character. The guy makes decisions like a tyrannical 4-year-old. Like
So the whole deal with Alex is that she is emotionally disconnected and she tries to think things through logically. So while things do affect her, she is you don't get a lot of that actually on her face. Like, she actually got a composure of like 3 or 4.
Medieval,
pretty good.
Medieval freak show. I'm fairly certain that is true. However, there is but there is a little bit of Tremere in. There's a little bit of the beast in the Tremere, and so
it's just a running joke in our groups because there's
true.
so many.
it's true. My character, my Tremere character, Adrian, was a detective, and so he he had to be methodical. You had to.
It's okay. My first Tremere character ended up getting bagged session 1. Kindred napped.
Kindred napped.
My first Tremere was. No, let's be real. My first Tremere was
Was a Ventru.
a Ventru. my first Tremere was a fucking meat puppet.
Puppeted by the soul of the man he ate. Yes.
Hey, my
Venture
first Tremere was
software,
a completely grounded and like perfect person.
Actually, strangely enough, Urian Doyle has had a lot of influence in the way that I've been playing Alec.
Nice.
Blood some Tremere tendencies, right? The blood will always affect how you operate.
Oh yeah.
But the methodology, you got to remember, ultimately the character came from a spot of me trying to initially set up with a bunch of new players. And it's like, how do I
But still not
justify
be the
that?
powered character, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, how do I justify me knowing what I know to be the living mullah without being like, hey, can you get me an extra 200 experience because I'm clearly playing an Ancilla?
Also, Raven put the proper emote for Urian Doyle. Yeet.
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 What is yeet?
That is absolutely a big meme in this channel. So, if you're new
What
to
is
this
IKEA?
channel, you should be following and subscribing and be on YouTube because we post all of our VODs there where a lot of
Get
our
your votes
memes...
in. Audience XP.
The audience XP is almost over. But, why is it a tie? Somebody break that tie. eBay snipe it.
We forgot the most important question.
Raven.
The most important question is, what is IKEA and how can I use it to crush my enemies?
That's exactly right.
How do I use it to accumulate more power?
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
I just remember the sentiment of the sentence.
Raven, it says you had 2,000 channel points go into that.
Chaos.
1 vote each. Oh, okay. So you didn't have enough points to put in your last vote. Okay. Raven.
They tolerate us. They really tolerate us.
We had 24 viewers and 1 person voted. Well, we'll have to come to the agreement on what that means here in just a few moments. But we do have the usual stuff to get around to. So, of course, you don't have stains. You can recover willpower as per your ambition or desire if you accumulated that. And we move on to experience. Everybody gets their 1 for showing up at the table. I have my full cast today. Woo!
Yay!
Yay! And then you look like you realized something, Derek.
I'm just going to PM something to you.
Oh, okay. We'll have to find out what that realization is. Next up is the roleplay prompts. Who moved our plot the furthest?
I kind of
I'm gonna end up giving that to Resner. Resner was the one making most of the actual moves.
Yeah, that's what I was also gonna say. Mr.
Well,
Moneybanks.
I think I was trying to make deals throughout this whole episode.
Yeah, there was a lot of deals happening.
See how many plates I can spin.
I feel like he's just like kind of like throwing things against the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I take the shotgun approach.
Well, that's 2 votes for
Doesn't
sure.
matter how many I miss with, as long as some of them hit.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron agrees.
Spray and pray. So is that unanimous for Dorian then?
I would say that's going to be a Dorian.
Okay, unanimous for Dorian then. Who had our best scene?
I think that had to have been between me and Shriek. That whole scene in the car of where he's trying to basically, like, I know you're new, and I've dealt with enough Ventru and pissed enough of them off and poked and prodded enough to know where their armor is, and let's beef yours up.
I actually liked the group scene at the start with us all in Alex's apartment.
Mm.
We're all
liked that
trying to
too.
figure each other out.
Yeah, yeah,
Like-
yeah.
That was good.
My
too.
favorite line didn't come from the game; it came from the coterie chat, which was realizing like the. Let me see if I can scroll up to see it. The realization. It was a realization. Where was it? Right. If because of the nature of Shriek and Winters, the coterie should be renamed to Urban Decay. Legitimately, just plant them wherever you want everything to go horribly wrong.
And then, look, I told you, we can make a business out of this. We send you two to a place, it drives the property value down, and then I buy everything.
For your gentrification plan.
Yeah, best scene that one, or the very start between Alex and Shriek with Shriek's reactions to everything that had happened with Anna.
I don't know, so far I think it's got to be Shriek because I kind of voted for Shriek and
Okay,
Mox kind of voted for
I'm
Shriek.
good to
for
go
two
behind
different
that,
scenes.
yeah.
okay.
Fuck yeah.
Unanimous on Shriek for scene then. Best line from the game.
If you're looking for a quiet time, Coterie really isn't the one you should be looking at.
I would like to submit my resume.
I think it was, for me, like, I want to put one in my own just because of how poignant it was, is when he dropped all pretenses and explained who he didn't get to in his lineage speech, and when he said Calhoun's name and, like, the reverence behind it, and it kind of changed the air in the room for a second.
That was actually a pretty cool scene. Also, bad luck lineage. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Only they knew.
Little did they know, like,
Singleton thinks that whole lineage is bad luck.
I mean, it
Alex
might
said,
be.
"Fuck."
you
Luck
can
can
see
change on
what
a
I'm
dime.
trying to fight against and live up to and surpass.
Mm. Including the stigma
Yeah.
that some
The
Ventru might
stigma is
have.
why I'm placed here.
Mhm.
Is why I
'Cause you're
like
trouble.
well, I don't even know if I was placed, as I was just like, I can see the writing on the wall. None of the rest of the Ventru are going to really dig this. I'm going to go to where I can get in the ground level and actually do some shit.
That's
And I
pretty
can
good.
build something.
I'm just entertained that I can be a smartass again.
I love it. You're
Do you have any?
It's going to be
occult-
hard for
any
me
ex-
not to be.
Do you have any experience with occultism? Yeah, I'm a paranormal investigator. Paranormal investigator? Yeah, you ever seen Supernatural?
Cracked me
You
up.
want to know what? I could have ended up going for best line. That was the two brothers that paired up with the Scooby-Doo gang, right? Because only actual supernatural fans would get
God.
There was
Okay,
so
but-
many good lines today, though.
Is
It's hard to say.
Winters Dean or Sam? That's
Oh,
the question.
He's more of a dean.
He's
definitely
Dean.
a Dean.
He's absolutely
Cass-
Dean.
Definitely a
You know, at the
Dean.
end of the series, when Cassiel was like, "I love you," and Dean was like, just like the most disgusted little face, even though they've been like best
They've
buds
been
the
through
entire
so
series.
much.
It's like,
Tails.
Energy.
That face is the epitome of the gay.
Yeah. Definitely Dean.
We haven't really decided on a best line, huh? We kind of just waffled
Oh,
around.
God.
There were so many good ones. It's so difficult.
Just so much waffling.
How about this? Since we all kind of had different ones, how about you be the tiebreaker, Coffee? What was your favorite?
Oh, I
Who
don't
would
have a
you
say
award?
in this. This is all you guys. If you leave it to me, I'll leave it to a dice roll.
I don't know. Like I said, I think I voted for myself. I don't know who you guys officially voting for.
Oh god.
I'm fighting for it.
Okay.
I don't doubt
I'm
it.
fighting for it.
So one for
Ride or
Aaron,
die.
one for Aaron, one for Dorian.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Aaron.
Okay. Two for Aaron,
Cool.
one for Dorian,
I'll make it 3 for Aaron.
three for Aaron.
Yeah!
Hey, Lamau.
Yeah!
Also,
Yay!
Also, because we had a tie on the audience votes, and Raven was sad that she could not put her final vote in, and it is Raven's birthday,
Happy birthday.
Oh, that bitch.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Happy birth.
and happy birthday, and happy
Birthday to
anniversary
you
to the
and the channel.
stream, and all of that sort of celebratory stuff. Raven has asked on behalf for all of you to me, asked me to grant you a single experience each for the audience vote because
Are you gonna do
birthday.
it?
Yes, I'm going
Yeah,
to do
they
it
asked,
because
that
I'm a
doesn't mean-
beneficent god.
Yay!
Love it.
Thank
Oh,
you for
great.
your prayers, Raven, and thank you, mighty ST gods, Coffee.
Yes, Raven beseeched me on behalf of all of you. You're welcome.
Love it.
Prayers have been
Thank you.
answered.
You're welcome, chat. You're welcome, crew.
Raven has beseeched God and provided the requisite cat pictures to
I mean,
Two.
cat pictures will melt my heart all of the time. This is how you win
Yes.
this god's heart.
There's no sacrifices. There are only cat pictures.
Only cat photos and and videos if you have them. No,
Yes.
but yes, that does conclude experience. And Ravenstar, happy birthday to you, and happy anniversary of the stream. We are into year 5 for this channel.
Woo!
You can see my sub badge. My sub badge is 5 years. It is 5 years officially that I have been affiliate on stream since 2019 that we've been doing shows on this channel, like we've been doing for VtM. So, if you and the audience want to go back and see some of those original memes from 2019, there you go. The YouTube channel exists. Season 1 of San Antonio by Night is exactly what you should go and watch, because you will know all of the memes that we have continued and perpetuated until this day.
I gotta go rewatch it just for the sake of some.
There's so much blood.
We have
There's so much blood.
We have actually recently gotten some new subscribers over the last couple weeks. It's been pretty steady, at least once every couple days. One new subscriber on YouTube every other day or so. So, anyone who isn't subscribed on YouTube really should go and subscribe, because the more that I build that channel, it's really just so that I can have an archive of things, and so that you guys can go and watch it as a result. It's mostly for my own memory, as I am a goldfish.
You know what we could do? Go and clip parts from them and make them into shorts.
Should, because I really have no time to do clips or shorts or things like that. And if any of you want
I would
to
have
be
to work with someone that knows whereabouts it happened.
YouTube does give you the option to do clips from existing videos, so that's something that we should get up to. But
Yeah.
eventually I do want to start posting, shorts and things like that on the YouTube channel so that we have, some kind of very short advertising. And
I just want it so that we can link memes to each other.
exactly. Link memes to each other in the chat. Shorts and clips. There you go. Clips don't exist anymore on Twitch. Well, the clips, but yeah, that's kind of what I would hope. For more of the channel, more on the YouTube channel. As far as that goes, it's still going strong as far as the shows that we're putting on here. So will definitely be continuing to do that. If anybody wants to go through some of that old shit, because some of it's real garbage as far as production quality, but we've been doing that for 5 years, guys. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, year 5. Actually, I think it's the 5-year anniversary, and this is year 6. Like,
Yeah.
the 6-year anniversary,
Congratulations, Coffee.
Yeah, we're in between fifth anniversary and 6th, so yeah, we're moving into year 6. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys out there in Twitch, because I turn around and sometimes invest some of that Twitch money back into the channel, and sadly we didn't get the hype train today like I was hoping that I would promise the bonus stream for this week for the celebration of the anniversary, but we will be doing a Saturday stream. It might be a little later than usual because I do have some friends of the family that are coming into town that want to have dinner, so I will keep you all out on the Discord posted, because we post all of our announcements and things, except for today because I slacked and didn't do it, for any kind of important information regarding this stream. So join the Discord, follow on here on Twitch. If you're out in YouTube and don't follow us on Twitch, please do that. I will try to be better about actually putting notes in the comments of my videos, because I forget. I'm awful, Raven. But yeah, and if you're here on Twitch and you want to go follow on YouTube, go and do that, because I post all of the videos on there eventually. And so just yeah, that's what we do here at CoffeeCat Presents. Let's see if there's somebody to raid so that we can spread more love out into the universe. And yeah, hope you all have a great, wonderful rest of your day, and say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
God damn, these Ventry talk for ages.
That they do.